Beautiful. I'm here with Nick Gregory. We're admiring this live shot. And
Beautiful sunset.
I've been admiring the weather because I'm happy. Nick, you know that. I've been
Yes,
asking you since February. When's it going to get hot?
This is Florida weather for you.
There you go.
Actually, it was warmer here than Miami today.
Really?
Miami was 82.
You know,
Same
see,
thing
this
yesterday.
This is what I love about Nick. You always hit us with all these facts, and you got the history archives. You got it all. Just
You
at the
never
top of
know
your head.
what's hiding up in this brain, and some of that should stay hidden. But yeah, it was warmer here. Even how about Phoenix, right? Phoenix usually is hot.
Wow.
Yesterday and today we were hotter than Phoenix.
Well, when I was chatting, kind of teasing you coming up, I was saying I heard it from my neighbor. I overheard it in a coffee shop. Some people are saying this is too hot. It's like, people,
Yes.
come on. This
Well,
is better than what we had a couple
But
weeks
you
ago.
know how that goes,
Yeah.
right? You always want what you don't have.
Yes.
And so we suffered through this, very difficult winter. Of course, January was just brutally cold.
Yeah.
And the snowstorms and the blizzard and what have you. And so now you get your first 90-degree day and everybody goes, oh, it's too hot.
Yeah,
It's like,
exactly.
Wait
It's like
a
we
minute
can't
now.
make everyone happy.
Okay, do you want this or do you want, 20 below zero wind chills? It's your choice.
So give us some context here. Obviously, this is more like summer weather, to your point, than
Yes.
spring weather. So what are we looking at into the
So,
weekend, into next
Well,
week?
of course, this time of the year, this weather doesn't last,
Yeah.
right? So this is a little bit of a gift for the last couple of days, a little summer preview. I mean, this is like whether
take it.
you'd expect in July,
Yeah.
right? I mean,
For sure.
just to give you an idea, the morning low today was 71,
Right.
right?
Right.
Last night at 10 o'clock, when we did our 10 o'clock news, it was still 83 degrees.
Yeah.
So you can see coming here on our Futurecast, there are some changes coming.
Yeah.
That's for Sunday. Those are going to be showers on Sunday. So what's been happening with our weather pattern, Stephanie, is that we've had a front stuck off to our north.
Mm-hmm.
That front hasn't moved in days.
Okay.
So we've had this continued southwesterly airflow, which is why it's been so warm.
Okay.
So that front is going to creep southward, and it'll start doing it a little bit into tomorrow. So overnight, still very mild. We're going to be in the 60s,
Right.
upper 60s really in the city, 50s out on Long Island. Could be a couple of showers between about 1 and 3 o'clock in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Now, tomorrow, it's not going to be near 90. So the change is beginning tomorrow. We'll start cooling it down.
Right.
We'll probably end up in the upper 70s to about 80, 79 in the city, maybe some low 80s in parts of New Jersey, again, upper 60s, 70s across Long Island. So we've already cooled it down about 10 degrees.
Right.
We're going to do that every day moving forward. So it'll be
Oh.
another 10 degrees cooler Saturday, but a pretty decent day. We'll have sort of a combination of sun and clouds. You'll
Yeah.
see that coming up here in the forecast. And then another 10 degrees cooler for Sunday. There's a 7-day, right? So 66
Okay.
Saturday, 58 Sunday, but we'll have showers all day long. Look at Monday, 52, gusty breeze. Look at Tuesday morning, 37. So yes, the party's about to come to an end.
So you've been breaking it to me gently.
I
now,
try.
Now I see the 7-day
Yeah.
forecast.
But
and-
we go right back up the hill Wednesday, Thursday. We're back in the upper 60s, right?
Yeah.
So that's some good news there. But look at today. It hit 90 at Belmar, New Jersey, Newark, even Poughkeepsie there in the Hudson Valley. They're
Fascinating,
90
yeah.
degrees. 70s out on the east end. They're down in the 60s now. So again, another summer preview. This is like a July day. So, but again, they don't last. So be prepared. Next couple of days, we're going to lose about 10 degrees per day
Right.
going on into the weekend.
And then it looks like within the 70s, we'll be back about spring normal.
Yeah, I mean, well, normal right now is like, well, today the average high should be about 62.
Okay.
But we gain about a degree every 2 to 3 days now. So
Right.
the average high temperature keeps going up. So, by the time we get to middle of next week, the average high will be maybe 64,
Mm-hmm.
65, 64, somewhere around there. So we'll be closer to average and maybe even a little bit above average the end of next week.
Yeah, this is the thing. I've talked to you about this before, especially for us in the city with the limited closet space. We don't know when to flip the closet in the spring because look what just happened. We're getting
I know, right?
Typical,
It's
right?
wardrobe challenge.
Yeah.
Because what happens now, right, is that, and not so much this week because it's been so warm, but, the spring, and it's also very common in the fall where, it's 45 degrees in the morning
Right.
and 75 degrees
Yeah,
in the afternoon.
it's a roller
So it's like,
coaster.
what do I wear? I mean, I got to wear, it's going to be cold when I go out, the chilly, but then in the afternoon, I'm going to be like, I got to start shedding clothes.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
you have to challenge your wardrobe with this.
Yeah,
type
and
of
especially
weather,
if you're commuting, it's like now you got another bag. I mean, I'm always at multiple bags, so it's like another bag for the sweater or the whatever you got.
Well, at least you're prepared,
There
right?
you go.
So, but then the challenge is finding things in your closet that you
Right.
put away in the fall.
Right.
Where did they go?
Exactly.
They went into that little black hole.
I don't know where anything is ever because it's all like just
Oh,
we get creative
That's
here.
my house.
Yeah, get creative here.
Yeah, you got to get creative. It's like, okay, where did I put that shirt that I wore back? So.
But the seasons are a blessing. We get to see them. We get to experience them. Of course, when I was in Florida, we didn't get that. It was either hot and like a couple cold days. So it's perspective.
Well, I mean, exactly. And to put that in perspective, I can tell you about my wife.
Yeah.
So my wife is from California.
Yeah.
So, when we got married, she never lived in New York, never lived in the East Coast, right? Would only pass through New York on the way on her travels elsewhere in the
Yeah.
world. So she's thinking, okay, well, come to New York. And she couldn't understand why I kept rushing to do things in the summertime and in the fall. Why? I said, trust me.
You'll get it.
You'll get it. So the first winter was the winter of, we were married in August 94. So the first winter was 94, 95. It wasn't that bad.
Okay.
So she talks to her mom.
Mm.
Oh, Mom, it's not so bad here.
I can do it.
Yeah, the winters aren't so tough. The next winter was the winter of 95, 96.
And
We
she
had
understood it all?
We had 78 inches of snow. And she's
Oh,
like,
geez.
"Mom, it doesn't stop snowing here."
And then she understood
But
why you appreciate the summers.
she did. And then, after the first 2 years of our marriage, right, she's like, I get it now.
Yeah.
I get it. And she has been converted from a, life in California. She likes the seasons.
There you go.
She likes to enjoy all the seasons.
Yeah.
And she makes the most out of all the seasons. So that's from a Californian's perspective.
So, and I think that's really valuable. I think you're always, the product of where you come from and where you're going. It's
Mhm.
always sort of that dance. But I could tell you, growing up in Canada, so I was like,
Okay.
oh, I want to be in a hot place. But then I did miss the
That's it.
seasons when I was in
That's right.
Texas and Florida. So I think it's true. And I think the nice thing about the seasons, as your wife is enjoying them now all these years
Yes.
later, it's that you do get a bit of everything.
You do.
Although what I find is I'm always excited at the beginning of a season, and
Right.
then I'm ready for the
Then-
next one.
Exactly. And that, especially, it depends on the season too. But
Yeah.
you get excited for I'm a snow lover.
Yeah.
So, and I'm a New Yorker.
Yeah.
I mean, I grew up in New York.
Yeah.
We moved here when I was 4 years old. So I'm a New Yorker through and through. And so I've always admit that, well, of course, from a little boy, I always loved the weather too.
Yeah.
So again, I would always enjoy all the seasons, and I'm a snow lover, and I like to ski, but I also like the beach.
Yeah.
I kind of like everything, right? I like to get a taste of everything. And I find, like you just said, you get in the middle of, and I'm waiting for winter. It's like, I'm waiting for winter. I want the snow. I want to ski. I want the cold. And then about halfway through, you're like,
Okay.
all right.
That's it.
I really do like it, but God, does it have to be this cold? I think that's the other thing is also because I'm getting older. And so,
Well,
the cold starts to affect me a little bit more as I'm getting a little bit older here, but I still make the most of it. And,
Yeah.
I look at it this way, if you're prepared, you get a good forecast,
There you go.
you know what's coming, and so you can plan accordingly and hopefully have a proper wardrobe to deal with the cold or the warmth.
100%. Yeah.
And then that's our job here is to try to tell you that, to advise you, so you kind of know how to plan your day, and hopefully we get it right every so often. So.
My little boy's so cute. This morning he's like, Mommy, I'm not wearing a jacket again. I said,
Ah.
no jacket again, but next week I think you
Yeah,
will
then
be.
don't lose that jacket because
Exactly.
you're going to need it. But that's the nice thing too. Is
Yeah.
like you see, we had video the last couple of days from Sheep Meadow in Central Park.
Yeah, yeah.
So everybody's out there.
Yeah, of course.
Everybody's
They're
out
like,
there.
we've been waiting for this for months.
They're out there on their blankets and they're they have their little picnic going on, and which is really, really nice. That's the thing about New York is that when the weather does turn warm, everybody comes out.
You see the true everything in New York.
Yes,
Everything.
everything,
yeah.
right? It's like amazing. Right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah. From the people to the culture to the arts to the food, it's like everything is up and going, right?
That's it,
Yeah,
exactly.
I love
And
it.
this is the time of the year we start to see the spring brings that opening, as we say.
Yeah, and although they come year round, this is when the tourists really start. They like
Yeah.
the spring, the tourists. They like
Sure.
the holidays and they like the spring.
Well, and I think, and from my perspective too, the spring is a great season. My favorite season in New York, and I think the best season is really into the fall,
oh yeah.
particularly September.
Oh,
September
the foliage
is
is so beautiful.
yeah, but like September is like I think one of the best months of the year
Yeah.
because it's not as hot anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It's not as humid anymore,
Mm-hmm.
but it's still warm. It's
Yeah.
mild to
You
warm.
can enjoy it outside.
You still have pretty much long days of daylight, and it's one of the drier times of the year in
Yeah.
September. So so for the New York Chamber of Commerce, I recommend that you tell people September. Let
Nick
the
says.
secret's going to get out. That's just my personal opinion. I think
No,
that
but I
really
see
is
where
the
you're
best.
going with it. Yeah, I see where you're going with
Yeah,
it.
but the spring is nice too because you're recovering from the
It's the
brutal winter,
revival,
so.
right? The spring is always like the fresh. Now, did you do any spring cleaning at your house, you and your wife? Or?
What's that? Can't hear you.
I
What
actually
did I
did
do?
it. I did it this year, and I started early. And I'm telling you, it's been an amazing experience.
Really?
Yeah. Well, the beginning wasn't. The end was. But just the concept
Kind of
does speak.
cathartic.
I
Is
said,
it?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. This year I was like, let me try this, and I purged a lot, and yeah, it felt good.
I haven't done it yet.
Yeah.
I haven't really set a timeline as to if I
Well,
will.
some people do it every year. Some people do it,
I mean,
whenever
look,
needed.
I need to do it. Our garage is a disaster.
Yeah.
I mean, I need to get out there and do it.
Yeah.
And, one of these days I probably will.
Yeah.
I just got to figure out the day. I got a lot going on this weekend, so I probably can't get through this week. And during the week I can't.
Yeah, I know.
It's tough,
Yeah.
So it's got to be on a weekend day. But my weekends sometimes are filled with
Different things.
my flying the pilot side of me, right?
Yeah.
So I do
It's a busy
either
guy.
flight instructor or I give flight tests.
Yeah.
And this Saturday I'm actually giving flight tests
Are
all
you?
day. Yeah.
Oh.
So no, honey, can't do the cleaning this Saturday again. I'm
Skipping another
sorry.
weekend, but he'll do it soon. He'll do it soon.
Famous last
Shout out
words.
to your wife. All right, Nick, thank you so much.
Sure.
And thanks for being with us, everyone. It's 7:40. We'll be back in a few. Stay with us. This is Newsroom Live.